Julia students. So yesterday we studied what is economics and what are the different problems that we call central problems of an economy, and there are three central problems: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. And we've also discussed what is microeconomics and what is macroeconomics, and we've just ended up by introducing what is production possibility curve. So as I've told you yesterday, what is production possibility curve? It is a curve which shows different combination of two commodities. It is a curve which shows different combination of two commodities that can be produced with a given level of resources and technology. Here you see combination A, combination B, combination C, combination D, and combination E. When you join all these points, you get a curve that is called production possibility curve. At point A, here you produce 100 tons of apples, 100 lakh tons of apples and 0 wheat. At point B, you produce 90 lakh tons of apples and 10 lakh tons of wheat. Similarly, at point C, you produce 70 lakh tons of apples and 20 lakh tons of wheat. And at point D, you produce 40 lakh tons of apple and 30 lakh tons of wheat. And at point E, you produce 40 lakh tons of wheat and 0 apples. It means here you are using all the resources for the production of wheat at this point. So and I have also told you that production possibility curve is also called production possibility frontier or the transformation curve. Now there are two basic properties of production possibility curve, that is two basic properties of PPC, means production possibility curve. The first one is production possibility curve slopes downward from left to right. Okay, so the first property of PPC is that it slopes downward from left to right. Here you see the production possibility curve. This curve slope downwards from left to right. Now, what is the reason behind it? Why does it slope downward from left to right? The reason is that to produce or to increase the production of one good, you have to sacrifice or forgo the production of the another good. Here you see, when the production of apple is 100, the production of wheat is 0. When you increase the production of wheat from 0 to 10 lakh tons, here it is 0. So when you increase the production of wheat from 0 to 10 lakh tons, the production of apple reduce from 100 to 90. In the same way, when you increase the wheat from 10 to 20 lakh tons, the production of apples further reduce from 70 to 40. It further reduce from 90 to 70. And when you again increase from 20 to 30, it reduce from 7 to 40. So here you see, to increase the production of wheat, you have to decrease the production of apples. So that is the reason it slopes downwards from left to right. And the second basic properties is, the second one, production possibility curve, PPC, is concave to the origin. Concave to the origin. So the PPC, that is production possibility curve, it is concave to the origin. So this is the point of origin and this curve is concave to the origin. Now what is the reason behind it? Why it is concave to the origin? So I told you earlier that you have to sacrifice one goods to increase the production of another goods. But the rate at which you sacrifice the goods for the production of another good, this rate goes on increasing. Here I will explain. Like here you see, to produce 10 lakh tons of wheat, you have sacrificed only 10 lakh tons of apples because it reduces from 100 to 90. It means to increase the 10 tons, you have reduced 10 tons here. And in the similar way, to increase another 10 tons of wheat from 10 to 20, it means you have increased another 10 tons. To increase another 10 tons, you have reduced 20 tons of apples from here. So here you see, earlier you have reduced 10 tons of apples. In next, to produce the same, that is to produce the same amount of wheat, that is 10. In the next you have reduced 20 tons, and to produce another 10 tons of wheat, you have reduced 30 tons of apples. So it means you have sacrificed this much. So here you see the rate at which you sacrifice the production of apples to producing wheat, this rate goes on increasing. Here it is 10, here it is 20, and here it is 30 and 40, and it goes on increasing. So that is why this production possibility curve is concave to the origin. Now we will move towards shifting of production possibility curve. That is, production possibility curve shifts either rightward or leftward due to change in the resources. Yes? So the change in the resources can be in two ways. The resources can be increased or it can be decreased or it can be reduced. Now when the resources are increased, how the PPC change I have shown here. This is the x-axis and the y-axis. On the x-axis I have measured commodity X, and on the y-axis I have measured commodity Y. So the original production possibility curve is the AB. Say with the given resources, say labor 10 and capital 5. So this labor and capital are the resources. So with this amount of resources we are producing like this much commodity of X from O, B, and we are producing commodity Y from O to A. This is the original production possibility curve. Now there is an increase in resources. Say now there is an increase in the number of labor from 10 to say 12, or the number of capital from 5 to 7. It means our resources have increased. It has increased from 10 to 12 and 5 to 7. It means the whole resources have been increased. Now due to increase in these resources, the production possibility curve shift rightward from here to here, that is from A to A1 and from B to B1. So A1, B1 is the new production possibility curve which is obtained after increasing the resources. Again here, I'm again explaining it. With the given resources, with the original resources, we are producing this much of commodity A, so commodity Y, and this much of commodity X. When there is an increase in resources, like say here I have taken resources as a labor and capital. So when there is an increase in resources from 10 to 12 and from capital from 5 to 7, the production possibility curve will shift towards right, that is from A to A1 and from B to B1. With this, we are able to produce more of both the goods, both the commodity. We are producing now commodity X 0 to B1 and commodity Y from 0 to A1, which is more than that of the earlier. Here you see. Okay, now we'll see what happens when there is reduction or decrease in the resources. With the decrease in the resources, the production possibility curve shifts from right to left. Production possibility curve shift from right to left with the reduction in resources. Here again on the x-axis I have measured commodity X, and on the y-axis I have measured commodity Y. AB is the original production possibility curve. Now as I'll say I have 12 labor and 7 capital. These are my resources. 12 labor and 7 capital. These are my resources. With this amount of resources I am able to produce OB amount of commodity X and OA amount of commodity Y. Now due to certain circumstances there is an decrease in the resources. Say labor got decrease from 12 to 10. Again capital is decreased from 7 to 5. So this reduction in the resources will have impact on production of both the commodity. So due to reduction in these resources, the production of the commodity X and commodity Y reduces. Production becomes low. Therefore, production possibility curve shift from OB to A1 B1. That is, it is shift from here to here due to reduction in resources. Okay. Now we'll move towards the rotation of production possibility curve. Production possibility curve rotates in a clockwise and in a anti-clockwise due to change in the technology. Resources remaining the same. Here you must note one point, that here the resources does not change. Here the change occurs due to change in the technology. So again there are two types of change. Here you see on this graph, on the x-axis I have measured commodity X, and on the y-axis I have measured commodity Y. Here I am producing OB amount of commodity X and OA amount of commodity Y. Now there is an increase in the efficiency of technology, or increase efficiency in the method of production for commodity X. Because of this, because of increase in the efficiency of method of production for commodity X, the production possibility curve it rotates anti-clockwise from B to B1. Here you see this, this production the same possibility curve moves from OB to OB1. This movement occurs, or it rotates anti-clockwise. It occurs due to increase in the efficiency of method of production for the commodity X. And on the other side, you see here again on the x-axis I have measured commodity X, and on the y-axis I have measured commodity Y. Now the original production possibility curve is OB. It means we are producing OB amount of commodity X and OA amount of commodity Y with the given technology and given resources. Now there is an increase in the efficiency of technology for producing commodity Y. Due to increase in this efficiency, the production possibility curve rotates clockwise from A to A1, from A to A1. It means the production of commodity Y increased from OA to OA1. This increase in the commodity Y occurred due to increase in the efficiency of technology for producing commodity Y. Now you have to remember here, this change, this rotation of production possibility curve does not occur due to change in the resources. It occurs due to change in the technology. Okay. Our next topic is opportunity cost. So this is one of the very important concept in economics, the opportunity cost. See, what is it? It is the cost of availing one opportunity, that is opportunity second, in terms of the loss of the other opportunity, that is opportunity 1. In other words, it is the cost of shifting resources from one use to the other. So now you must be getting confused when I say opportunity 2 and opportunity 1 and blah blah blah. So I will explain you with an example what is exactly the opportunity cost is. See, you are provided with 2 fruits, say mango and then an apple. Okay, at a time you have 2 fruits, 1 mango and an apple. Now you are told to eat only one of them. Remember, you cannot have both mango and apple. You are told to have only one of them, either mango or the apple. Which one you will choose? Which one you would choose? Say you choose mango instead of apple. You choose mango instead of apple. So you are going to have mango instead of apple. So you have to let go the apple. You have to sacrifice it. You have to forgo it. It means the opportunity cost of opportunity cost of 1 mango is the apple which you have sacrificed. Understand my point? So opportunity cost of mango is the apple which you have forgone. You have just let it go. So this is the opportunity. This 1 apple is the opportunity cost of the mango. Now, hope you are familiar with the opportunity cost. Now moving towards the graphic part, I can explain you better with the with this graph. Here I have just assumed that with some given resources I am producing wheat and apples again. Here I am producing wheat and apple with certain level of given resources. So again, AE is a production possibility curve. This is the x-axis, and on the x-axis I have measured wheat, and on the y-axis I have measured apple. Now, earlier I am producing at a point A. At a point A where I am producing OK amount of apples and OL amount of wheat at point A. Now I have increased, I want to increase the production of wheat, due to, maybe there are more demands for wheat. So now I want to increase the production of wheat. So I have increased, I have increased production of wheat from OL to OL1. With the increase in the production of wheat, I have to reduce the production of apples, that is from OK to OK1. I have to reduce this much amount of apple production to produce this much amount of wheat. Because my resources are limited and I cannot produce all the both goods together. So I have to sacrifice this much to increase this much. Now what will be the opportunity cost? Now here you see the gain of output, that is wheat, is equal to BC, or you can say LL1. Okay, here you see gain of output, that is the gain in the production of wheat, is equal to BC, which is also equal to LL1. And loss of output, that is the loss of production of apples, is equal to AB. Here I have shown the loss. Now what will be the opportunity cost? Therefore, AB, which is the loss, is the opportunity cost of the BC gain. Now the opportunity cost of wheat BC is the loss of apples equals to AB. So this is how the opportunity cost is explained with this graph. Okay students, so opportunity cost is the last topic of our first unit. And now, so far we have covered what is economics, what is economics. We have studied what is economics. You might remember that economics, it is a human behavior, or it is a science which studies how these scarce resources can be utilized in such a way that as a consumer we get maximum satisfaction, as a producer we get maximum profit, and as a society we get maximum social welfare. This is the meaning of economics in nutshell. Secondly, we studied central problems of economy. Secondly, we studied the central problems of an economy. So we all know that every economy is faced with three central problems. That is, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. What to produce, how to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So, given the limited resources, every economy is faced with three central problems, which is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. When I say what to produce, we talk about what kind of goods to be produced, whether to produce capital goods or the consumer goods. And when I say how to produce, we are concerned about the techniques, whether to use capital intensive techniques or the labor intensive techniques. And in the third, for whom to produce, whether to produce goods for the rich people or the poor people. And we have also studied the concept of microeconomics and macroeconomics. So I've told you that in microeconomics we study the economic issues or the economic problems of individual economic agent, that is individual consumer, individual producer, or a individual market, etc., etc. And in macroeconomics we study economy as a whole, that is the problem of unemployment, the national income problem, problem of price fluctuation, foreign exchange rate, foreign trade. These are all studied in the macroeconomic subject. And at last we studied production possibility curve and opportunity cost. So I've told you that production possibility curve is a curve which shows combination of two goods that can be produced with a given level of resources and the technology. And it has two basic properties, and it slopes downwards from left to right, and it is concave to the origin. And at last we studied what is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the cost which is forgone. So this is all about today. So with this we have ended up with the first unit.